bring and learn.
By the time Terry starts playing, he won't know what he's playing either, so it won't make much difference.
Town hall meeting, 11/2.
Hi. Thanks.
What's your job?
Huh?
Recording secretary. And.
75-25.
Melissa got her kit. Did you get yours?
Mm,
Melissa got her Mary Kay kit.
both shops. No, I mean, I've got to take care of public works too. Hopefully I'll lose weight.
I've already been working, taking care of the station, so.
Uh-huh. She works so Saturday you guys can talk maybe a little bit. Kelly? 94. 94.
Oh, good Lord, you got it counting down.
Yeah, look right here. Right there.
All right.
Kelly's got it too.
She's never done it.
Get a bigger foundation with that.
Hi, Princess. Hi, Vince.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, thanks again. Those signs, I'm so happy. It's so great. Everybody's calling me like, oh, we got the signs up. They're so happy.
What sign did you get up?
Right at the gate it says the speed limit sign.
Oh, yeah.
Moved in the front gate, so you can't miss it. If people, well, they miss stop signs, so whatever. But
I heard it.
I email or something. Yeah, I texted her. She just called me today. I had a treatment yesterday, so I haven't been feeling great. But she called me today. I called her a week.
Well, right, I think here you're not. She does.
So I'll let her know.
I have a doctor's
So I don't know. I didn't call. I was so. After my treatment yesterday, I
Did you
slept
get
all
an
day.
infusion?
Yeah, 3 hours. I saw 2 other people that were in the 3 hours. I did 3 hour. Sometimes I'm Remicade. It's a chemo drug. It's an old chemo drug, but they still use it because it works for me. So anyway, it's just
See, that's what Dr. King said. Everything we could try if you know what you're doing is working for you.
that's why they don't want to change it. There's newer drugs like this Stigora and other things, but he said just because it's working, and I don't want to wean off this and have to do a whole 2 months of trying to wean onto a new drug.
I went with her 2 weeks ago. Well, 2 weeks this week. But I went with her the last time because I hadn't been for a while. And Dr. Chang came in the room and he just barely told me.
I have yeah, I saw her a couple weeks ago, or well, last time I was there. She was there. Yeah, I saw her there. Yeah, and I saw 2 people I know from here yesterday. So we had well, I'll let you, or let me know how much. I'll call her tomorrow. Probably.
Do it before noon so I know what she said.
I'll text you.
Okay.
Do you think raising those cookies?
Who are you talking to? Who?
They're
I
hard to make.
have made them, and I have Grandma make the recipe.
And Vanessa does.
So maybe Vanessa and I can get together and make a whole bunch. Gary, how much money you got?
Seriously.
I'll buy all the ingredients.
Will you?
Yeah.
But they won't taste like their homemade.
No, probably.
Hey, Ted, you want me to get you a pair of socks to go with them?
Yes,
One pair.
one pair. Buy a 3-pack, that way Johnny gets 2.
Okay. She buy a pair of, like those ones that have 6 pair in them, and there were only 5 of them to give them out to. So Johnny, after Christmas, always got the extra pair.
Good evening, everybody. I'm going to call the meeting to order. This is a town hall meeting, so it's quite informal. If we can go ahead, stand, say a moment of silence, and we'll say the pledge tonight. If we can definitely keep our first responders and our military who right now are in harm's way, and everybody and all the stuff that's going on in the world. I think we need a little extra prayer. Okay, so tonight, Vince, if anybody does a YouTube question, we ask for their name and their unit number. Thanks. It's pretty informal. It's really about the questions that you may have and any things that you want to bring to our attention. We greatly appreciate it. So we did put one thing as a topic tonight, just in case anybody had any questions regarding the upcoming ballots. That's all. It was just a topic in case anybody had questions. But if anybody has questions, want to give us advice, anything, we are totally open to it. So if you'd like, you can come up to the podium, state your name and your unit number, and we will gladly listen to anything that you would like to tell us.
Debbie, I wanted to just mention, we asked the question in the last meeting, is there online voting? And Arlene gave us the answer that yes, there's online voting. It's up right until the last Monday before the next meeting, which I don't have the exact date, but it's the Monday before that meeting. If you have any questions, please contact the admin building. They will assist you with that. In a perfect world, we would have 2,830 votes, whether you voted online, whether you voted by paper at the admin office, whether you voted where you brought your ballot in here or submitted your ballot through the mail. We're looking for everyone to vote. It's an important vote, and we'd ask that everyone please exercise your right. Thank you.
Jim, that would be the 13th.
That would be the 13th. Thank you, Patrona. So there's plenty of time to still vote, and again, we would ask that everyone in the community, the whole reason to vote is to make your voices heard, and the community should be making the decisions for what happens in this community, especially on some of the topics that we have for this meeting, or this next round of ballots.
Speaking of that, our election committee, they have, basically, you are totally full as far as what you need to have on your committee, is that? And they are doing a wonderful job. They're in there every week, having their meetings, going through everything. So you guys are doing a very outstanding job, totally. But thank you. Does anybody have anything? You can come on up and share it. This is all about you tonight. I know. Come on up. Right over there. Hi there. Hi, green white. Just give us your name and your unit number.
Eleanor Shea, Unit 3. It's my own personal issue, but I'm guessing it might apply to other people. I have had my name on the list for online voting for 3 years, and I have no idea how to do it. I never got an email, never got a link. So I don't know, do I go to the Brookridge.com website and vote? No, probably. So I went to the office last year and this year, and the folks didn't know. So they said they guaranteed that I was on the list, but I just don't know how to online vote.
Are you gonna be available tomorrow?
I'm gonna, yeah,
I would ask that you stop into the admin office anytime after 10. I'll be there and I'll introduce you to Arlene, the general manager, and we'll get everything taken care of.
all right, thank you.
How does that sound? Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I've got
Linda,
some.
oh, wait, we have a taker. Linda Wallace. I just don't know your unit number. I should.
Unit 4, Linda Wall. Whoa. Our front gate seems like it's constantly getting hit, especially the inbound on the resident side. Well, I sat up there in the admin parking lot for about 5 minutes the other day, and I was watching the residents come in. They come in, they tailgate. That gate's starting to come down, and then it has to jerk back up. There's a stop sign there. That stop sign needs to stop. If people would obey the stop sign, let the gate do its cycle, come down, go up. It might not get hit as often. Another suggestion that I have, the stop sign is low to the ground. Maybe that needs to be raised some, so it's more at eye level than at the ground. And if that doesn't work, let's get some red flashing lights and put on that stop sign.
Maybe a UFO.
That would work. Something. You know, we're all old enough, and a lot of us have lived in here for years, and we know how the gate operates. But it seems like in the last 6, 7 months, it's being hit 2 or 3 times a week. It's time for everybody to grow up. You have your driver's license long enough, you know what a stop sign is. Let's stop and let the gate do its job.
I will tell you, this past, 2 weeks ago, it was hit twice in 1 week. Twice in 1 week. The first time, it wasn't that bad. The second time, the gentleman was tailgating, and he bent the whole bar, but when he ripped it off, he ripped it completely out of the computer wiring. So twice in 1 week. The second time they had to put a brand new, what they call the harness and all that on it.
Does the bill go to that guy who replaced it?
And also, so we have asked that if you hit the gate, it's $650, because that's how much it costs. Traffic safety. So, it is, yes, it is a chronic problem out there. Yep. Lucy? Okay, now it's on.
Lucille Dwyer from Unit 4. I totally agree with her, that's not what I came up for, but I've had people tell me again and again, people are tailgating them as they're going through. There should be somebody there and they should be fined. They're not stupid, they just want to get in fast. Okay, that's enough of that. There was a gentleman that approached me and he was talking about I don't go to the exercise room, but you know what room I'm talking about. And he was asking me, well, how did that all come about and who's maintaining it? Is there a budget item for that or is there something? Because he thinks some of the stuff in there is not working very well. And I told him that as far as I knew, all of it was donations. So is there anything in mind about what can be done to maybe maintain or even consider getting donations to get some better equipment in there? That's it. Thank you.
From the budget perspective, to repair something in there, so if a machine is broken or isn't working properly, there's money in the operating budget to spend for that. If we needed or wanted a new machine, we could utilize some of the reserve money as one of the reserve items for example, for next year. There's plenty of money in reserves to pay for example, a new bicycle or whatever. So if there is, I'll ask Vince to look into it and just know that the money is available.
And actually, before I forget, and I saved this to tell everybody about it, this has to do with the house on Fleetway. Okay, we do have a response from the attorney. And the email that was sent back is, we are in the early stages of the foreclosure process. It took the process server months to serve the person. She was in the home but would not answer the door. They finally obtained service on 10/16/2023, and she has until Monday, November 6th to file a response. So that is just next week. And I knew I meant to save that and to explain it. So she has to file a response. She has until November 6th. If she doesn't, then they file to proceed and to get a court date. So we are moving forward. It just took the server longer than usual to serve, but we are moving forward. Tracy?
Tracy McCumber, Unit 2. I'm actually going to speak as the traffic safety chairperson to reiterate about the signage thing, Linda. There has been discussion about the stop signs at the gates, and I agree that there needs to be something done as far as maybe them a little taller. So that was discussed, and we're working on that. Also, I just want to implore everyone, even if the gate's up, the arms up, there's a stop sign. They need to stop. I mean, people will just, when it was up the other day, they're just boom, 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 and people are like, I don't know why they're not stopping. I think we want to get a sign that says, under the stop sign that says optional, you know. And it's just, some people just, I don't know why, because we go out of our community, it's not like you're gonna fly through down on Mariner through a stop sign, it's just not gonna happen. So I'm hoping that with the things that we're doing as a committee, we're trying to introduce a lot of new things, and we're absolutely working on those things. And we meet every other Friday at the admin building. If anybody would like to come and have any suggestions, and my number's in the book, so I implore anybody if you have any ideas, suggestions. But I want to let you know that the Traffic Safety Committee, there's a plethora of things that we're working on, but it's just going to take a little bit of time. Thank you.
Any update on outside?
On
Kevin's?
No, all I know at this point,
Okay.
the field got mowed. Now I'm speaking as the Development Committee Chairperson, Tracy Company Unit 2. There's no update at this point. All I can tell you now is that the field was mowed, which is a blessing, so we are glad that got done. There will be no construction until the first quarter of next year. And as soon as I get any updates from Kevin, I certainly will let everyone know. And again, any questions about that, please direct those to me. Like I So the last time, there's some social media things that get said and they kind of snowball. And I'm not privy to that, I don't engage in that. But if you need any kind of answers about that as well, I'm always willing to answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Debbie. I did want to mention that we spoke about obtaining a couple of AEDs. They're external defibrillators for someone who might have a heart attack or have some medical issue. We have contacted the state of Florida's Department of Health and got a grant for some training. There's training on Monday. This is for the employees. Monday the 27th of November and Monday the 11th of December. That training is for all of our employees. It is a mandatory training for two reasons. One, we want them to know how to use those machines and do CPR, and two, there's a liability factor in there that helps the community, so we want to do that. The good news is there's 30 spots in the training. I'm estimating that 22 people are going to go to each training, so that leaves 8 spots. If you have an interest in going to that training, I'd rather someone from our community go to the training that we're getting the grant for, rather than somebody in Spring Hill or Brookridge that isn't part of our community that comes for the training. The health department won't stop somebody from coming, so I'm hoping that we can fill those. If you're interested, please either call me or send me an email or a text, and I'll get you the link. It's very easy to sign up. It took me all of 2 or 3 minutes. That's the training piece of it. Let's talk about the 2 machines. They're roughly $850 ballpark. We've contacted several groups, small groups and big groups. So I'll give you a list of names. The Men's Club, the Social Dance Group, Thursday Night Entertainment Group, Women's Club / Ladies of Brookridge, whatever their exact name is. CERT, the world famous bicycle group that I'm part of, the poker group, and the pickleball group, all donated money. We should have enough to cover the entire cost of that. So getting these AEDs, the training will be free, or we're not paying for the training, and we're also not paying directly for the machine, so it's a zero cost to the community. Not to mention the fact that if you actually need an AED here or at the admin building or the guard check wherever we put it, we'll have a machine and we can utilize that and hopefully save someone's life. So I want to give you a quick update. And a very special thanks to those groups. They were very generous in their donations. So if you're part of those groups, I feel very proud that you're part of our community. Thank you.
And again, that just goes to show how our groups help and give back so that we can purchase things like this. We feel we're very adamant about having this type of equipment here. Even if it saves one life, it was well worth the whole paperwork and everything else. So without the groups, we can't do the things that we do here. So again, thank you very, very much. And just to mention, we're going to have our first meeting for the birthday celebration. It's going to be next Wednesday at 7, classroom C, and everybody is more than welcome. If you didn't sign up and you still want to be part of it, please come out. Please be part of it. We need to form a committee. We need to just start from the basics of what everybody wants to do as far as that. Millie, did you have anything you wanted to say about the Crime Watch meeting for yesterday?
Okay, yesterday we had our Crime Watch meeting here. We meet the first Wednesday of every month, room C, 10 o'clock. We had 2 representatives from the Hernando County Sheriff's Department, Sheriff Morito and another officer. What they did was they presented a program on scams and frauds. And especially this time of the year, where you have your holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, everybody's out shopping. And one of their big concerns is that when you're parking your vehicle in a parking area, if you happen to see something on your window leave it there until you get home. Or if you see something like on the ground by your car, leave it there. Don't, because this is how these people, they see you, I get, I get excited about this stuff. They target the elderly. They target the ladies by themselves. They target the men by themselves. They have no conscience, these people. If you get phone calls at home, please, and they couldn't express this enough yesterday. You don't get calls from your bank. You don't get calls from the IRS. If you don't recognize the number, don't answer the phone, because as soon as you answer the phone, and they gave some examples of it yesterday. Okay, Mr. So-and-so, you have a package coming from Federal Express. No, I don't. Or your grandson in Arizona, or your granddaughter in Chile. But what you don't realize what you're doing is you're giving them information, and every time you're answering something else, they may ask you another question, but you're giving them information. No social number, no nothing. Please do not. Do not. This is the bad time of the year where you have to be so vigilant on what is going on around you. Especially, you know, all these instances, Walmart, Target, Kohl's, you hear about it all the time. And one thing though they did say is that, believe it or not, this community is probably one of the safest communities in Hernando County to live in. Yeah, you have a little tip, maybe they come in, maybe the husband was playing the TV too loud or something, and they gotta go knocking on the door, but outside of that, we live in a good community. And be very vigilant on what is around you. This is what the Crime Watch is all about. Watch your neighbors. See what's going on down the street. If you see something that you really don't think is right, do not call the guardhouse. Call 911. You know the cars in your neighborhood. You know your neighbors, okay? You know when they're going to go away. See, that's another thing, too, that they brought up. A lot of times, people be going on vacation. They let somebody know, and it's somebody else's. We had a lady not too long ago, just recently. Somebody came in here, came knocking on her door, supposedly had a delivery. Well, she wasn't expecting a delivery. They just came through the gate. You can't blame the guys and the gals at the guardhouse, okay? You cannot. But they do, all they can do is to take plate numbers. You can take a plate number and an address all you want. Once that person gets in here, you don't know where the hell they're going. You really don't. But that's another issue with stuff like that. But please be vigilant this time of the year. Seek out your neighbors. Make sure everybody's okay. Those that are coming back, our snowbirds are coming back. Just let them, just be out there. Just watch, because you know what? Nobody's safe. Lock your doors. Please lock your doors and your car doors, no matter where you go. Because in the middle of the night, they can come over those gates. You don't know. Please be safe, guys. That's all. Oh, next month. Yeah. Be safe. Don't be safe. Don't be sorry.
Lee, yes, yeah. Oh, you want Leo to?
Vince has got something.
Oh, Vince, I'm sorry.
Bruce Sandy, Bruce Unit 3. They want to know when the road repairs will be starting.
Is it on? We are going to go ahead and start getting contracts for bids put out in January, and we hope to have it started by March, April, when the snowbirds leave. It's less traffic, as everybody knows, not being disrespectful, but it's less traffic at that time. So we hope to be doing that. And actually, Vince, being in charge of Public Works, will be very much a part of helping us get those contracts ready. No, anything else? No? Yes. And Leo, did you have something too?
I did get a text message. Please talk a little bit slower and a little louder into your microphone. There's apparently a huge echo.
I have one thing to ask. Oh, Nancy LaShara, Unit 1, first house. I have a question to ask you. We have the exercise room. Why is it that we don't have no treadmills? I just want to know, because I like the treadmill and I don't want to drive all the way into town to use one. Is there a reason why we don't have one?
Vince knows that. Let Vince answer that. And again, remember to, as you're talking in the mic, Nancy, to talk a little slower and a little louder for our online guests.
Just so everybody knows, the treadmills, within our community is kind of dangerous in our building. We don't want you to go flying through a wall. So that's pretty much why the board a long time ago didn't want any treadmills in the building.
This board here is not opposed to a treadmill. We can definitely, if somebody is donating one or whatever, but we do have money now in our operating, so in our reserve, so we will definitely look at getting one.
Yeah, that would be nice.
We probably just have to shuffle some equipment around in there, and maybe there is some equipment that's not even used.
Because it does get dangerous. I got kind of like ran off the road the other day walking, and the guy just waved at me. So we still need to work on that. I mean, because where I live, I have to walk the boulevard, okay, to get to another street. And he saw me, and he just got closer and ran me off onto the grass, and then just waved at me. So I think we need to, Tracy, wherever you are, maybe we can work on something like that again, you know, put some cones out or something.
Thanks, Nancy. Tracy, can I just have Leo? Leo's been wanting to say something.
Leo Benoit, Unit 4, and I'm also director. Kind of following up on Mrs. Bernier here. Our president suggested I waited, and I feel I want to present this tonight. Brookridge is a large gated community. We have an excellent reputation, and many outside strive to become part of our community. We are primarily a loving and caring community. In the past 10 days, I was greeted by 2 county rescue vehicles and 2 calls concerned about my general health, and I thank all of them for their assistance, for their concerns. Off the record, imagine going to your door to answer the door, and there are 2 rescues there waiting for you. And you have no reason why they are there. And the only reason they were there is because there was 2 people very concerned about my behavior, and was I okay? And they called 911, and I was the recipient of the 911. If we are great, it is because we care and we try to help when needed. I want to present today a concern that we may often forget. People in my neighborhood routinely see me walking my dog. Off the record, his name is Buttons. He likes to nibble on my buttons. Being a cockapoo makes him in the mid-range of size and weight. Many people assume they have a great behaving dog. Listen carefully. Listen to my point. I have yet to see a dog that does not get excited when confronting another passerby dog. I don't care how well trained your dog is. I don't care what you do or don't do. It doesn't work. You tell a young child not to eat candy, trust me, the candy will disappear. And if you've got a grandparent, it's even worse. Please heed our regulations about leashing your dog. My dog has been approached often by loose dogs, obediently staying by their masters, except when I go by with mine leashed and by my side. I got control of mine. Yours is loose. He behaves, but not when I go by. Twice I've been knocked down to the road pavement by my dog, excited to greet other dogs. I'm not being fresh. This is the remainder of part of my injuries I had. I had a black nail. It happens to be on the wrong finger. Well, I'm sorry. I had other injuries as well. I had a black eye. All that is gone. The point is, your dog's great unless Leo goes by with his dog. Then they won't listen to anybody. You, certainly not me, because they're not my dog. I am sure there are instances in other areas of Brookridge that share my concerns. At 77, hate to admit that's my age, I don't know how much falling my body can take. I've fallen twice. Both times because there was another dog approaching my dog, and what does the dog do? He goes all around your legs. First thing you know, your legs are strapped. But the other dog's still there. They go forward. Well, guess what they do? They trip me down. I fall down, and to quote the song, break my trunk. Don't know how many more of these my body can take. I fell twice that way, and once in another format. Please leash your dogs for your neighbor's sake. It's one of the regulations, and it's one we often ignore. And you think you're okay because you have a behaving dog. Find me a behaving child, and I'll agree with you.
Remember to speak slower and a little louder. Thank you.
Tracy McCumber, Unit 2. I'd like to touch base on the treadmill that Nancy had mentioned. I just know as I'm pretty active my whole life, and treadmills are great, and I think probably the reason there's never been any is because of the liability issue. It's not so much the treadmill, it's training somebody to get on it. I mean, somebody can just go up there and push the button, and that mill just goes, and it can be very problematic. So I'm just putting that out there, and that's probably why that they are dangerous. But anyway, they're great. I know somebody that has one if anybody needs one. But also we talked about Nancy and walking, and I walk. I'm out in the community quite a bit, and it is a problem. And the lack of sidewalks is a problem, obviously. Our roads are narrow is a problem. When I'm out and I tell people this, I wave to everybody. The only reason I wave, well, not just to be nice, but so I get their attention. I want to know they're looking at me. So it's really important that you're out there walking. And I have reiterated these things in the needs and views.
And, we'll take a look at it. I'm not quite sure what our options are as far as walking. You just gotta be diligent, and you just really have to watch out for other people. But again, when you're out, wave, and that way you know if you don't get a wave back, they either don't like you or they didn't see you. So, something like that. What do you guys think?
Does anybody have anything else? No? Oh, okay. Now do you hear me? Laura Nelson, 34. I thought this meeting tonight was going to explain all the things that are on the ballot. I'm very confused on a lot of it, and I thought we might want to go over briefly, they must know all the different things that are about. Because that's where I came, because I thought that's what we were going to discuss. In other words, tell us, highlight, so we have a little idea of what's going on, with all those things we have to vote on.
Is there any specific thing you want us to?
No, I think you could go over each and every one of them, it would be helpful.
Okay.
The first item is Article 3, Section 14D. It's a rental administration fee. What the question is asking the community is, do you want to charge a non-refundable application/administration fee when we have an applicant wanting to rent a property? So I have a rental property next door to me, for example. I want to rent it to Mr. Smith from Michigan. He comes down there, he fills out the application, and doing that process, he pays an application fee. That's the first item. The second one is an RV compound use fee. We talked about it in great detail in the last meeting. The highlights are each owner that has an RV or trailer or boat in the RV compound would pay a certain amount each year rather than the current method where they're accepting donations. We went through the many situations and questions last week. I'm not sure I can really add to that. It's allowing the membership to vote. Do you want the RV compound to be fee-based or do you want it to stay as it is? The third item is a capital contribution. Rich Stratton, I think, did a particularly good job explaining the capital contribution. It's very simple. If you buy a property, whether it's a lot or whether it's a actual home on the lot, when you purchase the property, you buy it, for example, for $250,000. There would be a $150 one-time fee. When you purchase a lot, you pay a fee. It goes into, ultimately would end up in the reserve account. So it's allowing the community to get a little extra money. Again, it's a capital contribution. It's bringing capital into the community for us to spend on roads, lights, air conditioners, all the big ticket items that you have. If you're not going to move, so for example, I just bought my house on Delavan. I have no intention of moving. I would never pay that fee because I'm not buying another property. But the minute I sold it, then whoever bought it would pay that small fee as part of their $250,000 purchase. This does not include, let's say for example, I'm near the end of my life and I want to sell the home to my children. When it goes to a linear progression of your family, you would not pay that fee. It's only when you're selling it essentially to an outsider. So that's the third item. The fourth is the way that we're depositing money for the community. For example, you saw over the last 3 or 4 meetings, I made a request that we had, for example, in October, 4 CDs that had matured, and I wanted approval to reinvest that money to get more interest. So I had to get the board's approval by a simple majority. The change to that is it will not require a majority, it will just require the treasurer and the president to essentially renew that. It's not changing what we do with the money, it's just allowing us to, whether we want to invest it or spend it or where we want to place it, essentially. The last item is Article 5, Section 2. All directors must reside year-round in Brookridge and be a BCOP member, with the exception of one and only one BCOP director position, and that could be any position. It could be secretary, they could be treasurer, they could be first vice president, they could even be president. One director position may be seasonal or part-time property owner. You still have to submit your resume, you still have to get voted in by the majority of the residents. It's just allowing our snowbirds or our seasonal residents a voice in the community. Right now, roughly 50% of the people have zero voice in the community because they can't be on the board, they can't share their opinions. And with the technology we have, this is one that I actually submitted. When I was a snowbird, I thought we should have a snowbird on the board. Again, one position out of the 7, because it allows that representation for the snowbirds. Does that help? Are there any questions that I can clarify? Yes, Leo.
Do you think that will work?
I do think it will work. And the reason I think it will work is because we're only asking for one of the 7. They probably would be a director at large. They probably wouldn't be the treasurer. They wouldn't be the secretary in most cases. They wouldn't be the vice president, and they wouldn't be the president. They would be able to participate and as a straight director, correct.
I think with technology the way it is, I think that would be pretty easy to succeed at. And I think it's very important.
20 years ago, we could not have done this.
Absolutely.
My last year,
You're echoing what I want to say, that you already said. But you realize you're opening a new door.
that's correct. But here's the beauty with that, Leo. We are opening a new door, I agree with you. But what we're doing is we're submitting this to the residents, and we're letting the residents decide. Just because I believe that we should do this doesn't mean it's the right decision. It's the residents who should make that determination.
That will be a vote item in an upcoming election.
That's
Yes.
correct. If you got, so if Mr. Smith from Michigan, he's a snowbird and he wants to run for the board, and he's gonna be here 6 months out of 12,
He's the one, only one, you get the position.
in that case, you're correct. He's the only one who would get the position.
Yes,
Right.
right.
Many of you may remember a meeting that Larry, who was the prior treasurer, he made a comment that we have so many people that are not participating on being on the board, being a unit rep. And he said, we have all these snowbirds, we're not taking advantage of all that knowledge, all that enthusiasm. It just allows us a bigger pool to choose from. Because right now, Mr. Smith in Michigan cannot submit a resume because he has to be a full-time member. Okay.
And they still pay their dues like everybody else, year-round, even though they're not here. And I just think that it's just fair to allow for that. And I unfortunately, COVID taught us a whole lot about long-distance technology, Zooming and Facebooking and things like that. So we are very confident that we can conduct a meeting. You go to, if you're working right now and you're in work, I have a lot of meetings with Zoom. People that I talk to in the Midwest, and we get on a Zoom and we see everybody. So, and it's as clear as we're all sitting here. And technology has just allowed us to come to this point. And it's worth a try. And I'm sure there'll be, bumps in the road and things like that, but I think, we can work them out and, I think we'll be okay. That's right. If we don't try it, we don't know, and it's worth a try. And it's worth the, to just allow somebody the opportunity. And I don't think that we're doing that right now. We're not allowing opportunity for everybody. So.
Mary, you had a question you'd like to come
I
up?
saw your hand up.
I just want to say thank you. Snowbirds would really like to be involved.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
where are you from? New Hampshire. Okay. All right. So, we had said that we would do that when we came on board, but of course, we also said that everything will go out for a vote. Whether you say yay or nay, it's up to you. We'll follow whatever your wishes are. Whatever you put on the ballot, that's what it will be. And, but we wanted to we felt it was just really important. Anybody else? No one? No? Okay. Anything, Vince? I'm sorry.
Yes, Carla Klein, I have no idea where what unit she's in. She lives over on Mariah. She's asking, are the golf carts supposed to be insured? And she says she knows someone who lives in here that doesn't have insurance on the golf cart.
Your own golf cart, is that what she's referring to?
I guess.
Well, there's nothing that says you have to have insurance on your car, your house, your motorcycle, your golf cart. I highly recommend it. But there's nothing that says you take on that liability if you don't have that type of insurance for anything, for your house, for your car. But there is nothing that says you have to have insurance on your golf cart. Yes, sir.
That is an issue between the state and the county, and not our community of the world.
Do you have anything else that's there? No? No? Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and, oh, don't forget, the upcoming, birthday party, for next Wednesday, 7 o'clock, here, down the hall, room C. We hope to see everybody there. So,
Third Wednesday. in the
third
month.
Wednesday of the month, 7 p.m.
I believe it's the
here.
15th.
The 15th here. I know, between town hall, birthday, board, it gets a little confusing on dates. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and adjourn this meeting. It's 7:47, okay? Everybody, thanks for coming. Have a great evening. Be careful going